Well, Meltzer followed the situation and reported on it as early as February 28th, 1994, and he wrote an extensive blurb that I want your thoughts on. Here's the first part. While to the best of our knowledge, no contracts have been officially signed, and those close to Hogan continue to insist no deal has been made, WCW officials are clearly under the impression that not only will a Flair Hogan match headline the Great American Bash in July, but they'll also headline numerous house shows during the summer, and that plans were to be made this week for the run, with the belief that Hogan would start appearing on television to kick things off in May. Okay, so Hulk does not actually sign with the company until June, but part of this that is so interesting is that WCW wanted the Flair Hogan main event from the beginning. Arn, do you think that's the right call, working for that dream match? That, by the way, never took place except on a house show in WWF from 91 to 92. Why do you think that makes sense? Or maybe start them off with a Vader, or, maybe warm up to it. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, hindsight being 2020, and we always go there, Monday morning quarterback. Don't you want something to build to?
Right.
What do you think?
Because everybody wants to see it, but you got to, let's tell a story to get there.
If you walk in the door and you're already in each other's grill, you've already satisfied me a little bit, partially.
Yeah. So looking back now, you would say, hey, let's start them with some other guys for the first few shows just to get it going.
I'd have one show where he walks out. Number one, Hogan's contract must have ran out with Vince before they got a hold of it. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, he was done. He had already taken a break. He was doing, I think, Trouble. What is it? Trouble in Paradise, or what was the show in Paradise? I can't even remember.
Yeah. The beach show. Yeah,
the beach show. We'll call it the beach show.
Right.
So he was already doing stuff like that, and I think that's where Eric really connected with him when he was down doing the shows in Florida. And Thunder in Paradise, that's what it is. I knew it would come to my brain. But yeah, and so that's where they really started talking. I want to read this to you. The New York Daily News, in its gossip page on February 18th, reported Hogan would receive something like $1 million per pay-per-view event. Okay, as percentage points on each event's gross, as well as percentage points on each event's gross receipts. It's also reported the first Hogan Flair match is taking place on WCW's huge summer pay-per-view event, which seemingly would mean the Bash show in early July. The $1 million plus points per show figure can be dismissed as hyperbole, since most WCW pay-per-view events only gross the company in the $1 to $1.2 million range to begin with. For Hogan to be worth that kind of figure, he'd have to double the current number of buys, or in other words, on his first show in, to be worth a figure like that, the WCW pay-per-view show would have to do the same number or more buys than the past two WWF shows would have done. The Flair Hogan matches will do far more business than any other match WCW could put on, either on pay-per-view or at the arenas. But as someone who's worked with Hogan during the height of the golden era, did you think that he had the potential to have that kind of financial impact from the company that Meltzer's talking about here?
I'm not sure I got that in depth into my thinking.
Yeah.
I was more thinking that if they had to take a little bit of a haircut because he was making so much, that they would just eat that for now, with the idea that it's going to change the company totally, the perception of and they would make it up down the road. That's the only thing that makes any sense, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. It makes sense to me. Yeah.
Here's what you want. Okay. But we're going to have to double what the house or the buys from last time. If that's the case, I don't know that the expectations could be that could happen, even into having a conversation about it.
Yeah.
You're going to walk in and double our business right away.
Right.
Well, then if that's the case, day one, if he doubles the business, damn, he's worth whatever you want. Yeah. Whatever he wants.
Paying $1 million if that's the case. One more final observation from Meltzer, and then we'll move on to our next topic. He wrote, to sustain that business over a period of time would require both men to put the other over in a fairly clean method at different points in the national exposure matches. Well, there's no doubt, judging from past history, that Flair would cleanly put Hogan over at some point. The reverse can't be said with anything resembling certainty. And it's Hogan putting Flair over cleanly at the beginning, which is the key to the feud's longevity, because it's the one result people don't expect and will make them interested in future matches.